Hello, this is Crypto Neptune, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the ETF speculation that's been swirling around Zebec Network and kind of what that looks like. What do they look for a project to have an ETF? Remember, nothing I say is financial advice, only use risk capital, and thank you to those who continue to support the channel. So on the day, Zebec is up 1.30%, and the current price is 0.0037 and trading volume is up over 12 million. So that's what we're looking at far as the trade volume. And over the year, we are up 247%. So over the year, we're up 247% on the price. So keep that in mind. And let's see, what else do we have here? Market cap is sitting at a $352 million market cap. So that's kind of where we're sitting with Zebec and its price action. So it's just kind of holding right around this 0.0037 mark. So getting into like the ETF conversation, there was a brief mention of the ETF information here on a current spaces with Simon talking. So I'm going to play you like a short clip of what was talked about.
Love to hear that. Where next? Let's go to Digital Asset Summit. I think that's where you then came back to London, right, and went to that event. From the outside looking in, I'm going to be honest. It seemed a little bit kind of underwhelming in terms of energy, but it had some interesting signals there. What stood out to you at the Digital Asset Summit here in London?
Well, first of all, it's always great to attend a crypto conference in London. A little easier to get to than, say, San Francisco or Frankfurt. And there was really still good turnout from both the blockchain and the payments community. And we did see some keynote speeches from a few political leaders. I'm not going to name any names, but we were honored to contribute to the talking points for a few of them. So it's great to see, these political groups turning to Zebec for input, particularly here in the UK, around stablecoin policy and a crypto regulatory framework, which the UK is actively working on right now, as far as we know. And it's great to see our name firmly on the map amongst financial firms in London as well. And of course, there's talks around new ETFs launching for the sector. So we are exploring all of this right now.
Yeah, so there you have it. So in the terms of like the financial space, Zebec Network's name has been kind of thrown out there. And also with the possibilities of ETFs, he mentioned they're kind of exploring all these options. Again, that's kind of what you heard here from Simon. It seems to be alluding to exploring all options right now. Again, nothing concrete, but this could be set up to be special. So, what would make Zebec Network special and something to be considered in the future for like an ETF? So, I did some digging here and I said, so 5 reasons Zebec Network could get an ETF: strategic partnerships and institutional integration. Yeah, that's it. Like, if institutional partners are interested in what you're doing, then that is a game changer. So Zebec's developing partnerships with major financial players such as Ripple and hints at swift integrations create institutional interest and make Zebec more appealing for ETF inclusion. Yeah, so like all that makes Zebec interesting from like a partnership perspective. Institutions like Mastercard, Codapay, Deutsche Bank, Circle, the Uphold partnership, Assure, which is traded on the Nasdaq, Solana, you name it, and all these other payroll type of partnerships. That makes this project attractive. And then it says, from a compliance perspective, they're doing everything they can in the US. And then with Europe, it says, including the EU's MICA framework and UK's FCA, and has acquired companies specializing in KYC, etc. So they're trying to be regulated, and be compliant at the same time. And that's kind of some of the requirements to be an ETF. And Zebec has that. Exploring network growth and liquidity. Zebec has experienced rapid user and holder growth, over 87,000 holders, with significant token buyback program funded by real value and backing from major exchanges like Uphold. Uphold holds a huge bag of ZBCN, and this strong partnership is everything. And then the strong buyback program with the debit cards and all those debit cards, whether it's the black card, silver card, carbon card, or the custom cards, all those cards are continuing to be released out there. And you need ZBCN to kind of make everything go. So this is pretty awesome stuff. But yeah, and then technical movement and market performance, ZBCN's recent price surges and sustained bullish momentum backed by solid technical indicators and resistance support structures help attract investor attention. So yeah, so from a technical perspective, we need to continue on with the momentum. So getting back up to that 0.007 point, getting up to a penny, and then beyond, getting up to like 10 cents. We need those strong indicators and volumes to be attractive to be an ETF candidate. And I've said this is $1 billion plus project. So getting over $1 billion market cap and increasing that, that would put Zebec Network in the conversation for an ETF. So all those factors are played in. And real world use case. Zebec is its bread and butter is payroll. So payroll is the bread and butter. That's like the foundation, and allowing employees to be paid by the second in stablecoins and USDC, and then the Euro stablecoin. But it says Zebec's acquisitions and expansion into practical use cases such as a crypto payments for education and research. We've talked about that before with the science card in the UK, and kind of having those relationships with the UK universities is giving it purpose. Remittance transfer payments is does that. Payroll. And it says plus compliance, technology, demonstrate long-term scalability and relevance. Factors that make an asset fundamentally attractive for institutional ETF. Yeah, and then also with ZBCN, we have, again, like we mentioned, we have the debit cards. We have to factor that in. We have to factor in the super app. So the super app will be coming on soon, and again, you'll be able to get streams in your super app and potential staking and rewards. Sky's the limit for that, but that essentially will be kind of everything. And it says Zebec Pay uses blockchain speed, security, and efficiency to power everyday financial activities like salaries, bill payments, budget tracking, integrated with global payment networks. It is a core part of Zebec's financial ecosystem. Yeah, and see, this is a real world asset what Zebec Network is trying to do. They're literally putting salaries on a blockchain, and you can pay bills, etc. But this is kind of the crux of what could happen with the super app. Yeah, and they got the little button down here for rewards and stuff like that. And let's see. Yeah, we already talked about what makes the crypto project attractive for ETF consideration. Again, regulatory clarity, network liquidity and volume, ecosystem adoption and utility. Yep, right. You got to have utility, risk management, institutional integration, and partnerships. And there's been like so many different institutions interested in Zebec Network. like we mentioned before, they have backing from Circle, they have backing from Coinbase, Solana Ventures, Buyer Capital, Lightspeed Venture Partners. When you have that type of interest, that lets me know that they're seeing something. They're seeing something in this project. So this is a gem that is under a penny, like we've mentioned before. And as long as Zebec can deliver on tangible items, and again, they said they're going to launch that super app in December, then it's essentially game over. Let's go real quick and look at what the community is saying real quick. Let's see if we can look at some community information. Zachary writes, ZBCN for life. Crypto is a culture. It's a culture cult and not a moment in time. And he goes on to say there are approximately 94 billion Zebec Network or ZBCN coins available for purchase based on the current circulating supply, which is part of a total supply of 100 billion. Yeah, so he goes on to kind of talk about that and let's see. Think big when the Black Swan event officially occurs, not the minor liquidation. The goal is to accumulate 1 billion ZBCN. This is enough of us here to push ZBCN to $1. Yeah, so he's talking about just like as a community, just kind of accumulating ZBCN and kind of going from there. And ZBCN, this is a potential reversal zone on the chart. Forex from the lows in April. Yeah, so this is kind of a little bit of a thing there. Let's see if we see anything that's Crypto Queen talking about this video here and maybe potentially 100x for ZBCN. Again, anything is possible. And then here, Crypto Queen has a chart here for some price predictions. Short term, a penny to 4 pennies, and then kind of mid range 10 cents to 25 cents early 2026, and then peak euphoria she has 35 cents to 75 cents. I don't know, you leave me your thoughts in the YouTube description as far as price predictions, but this is pretty cool. And hey, I can't predict the future, but if it'll get to 75 cents, that would be dope. So I would not complain one bit. And then here it says, Arc the Zebec crew be a frightfully unbreakable bando blockchain buccaneers. Yeah, so he has, again, that's just a community spirit and the ship and the pirate ship symbolizing the community. So cool stuff there. So I hope you gained some value from this video. We pretty much talked about what Simon said on the space as far as the ETF and the speculation and what it would look like and what it would take for ZBCN to get an ETF. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I want to thank you for listening to this video, and thanks for stopping by.